If you've seen our past videos, you'd know that the Galaxy S8 is one of our favorite phones from last year. I mean, that thing's just gorgeous. But that's just the hardware. The software is something that I'm not really a fan of. Sure, the Samsung Experience UI is feature-packed and many people love it, but there are certain things that really make me hate the Samsung Experience UI. What's up guys, this is Rupesh from Beebom.com, and today I'm going to talk about the things that I really hate in Samsung's Experience UI. Before we get started, I'd suggest you to hit the bell icon to get notified whenever we post a new video. And well, we have some amazing videos lined up for you that you shouldn't miss out on. Now then, let's get started. Here's the story. You get a new Samsung phone and you're delighted with that gorgeous display and that great camera. The performance too is top-notch initially, but then the inevitable happens. Yes, after a while you see lags everywhere. This is the story of almost everyone who owns a Samsung device. And it's not just the story of low-end phones. I mean, this happens with flagship phones too. Well, we have the S8 and at the start it was just blazing fast. But over time it was just so laggy. Don't get me wrong, even the most heavy games and apps launch fast. But there's always some frame drops or lag in the most basic of places, especially when you have multiple apps running in the background. For instance, at times there's lag while swiping in the app drawer or the home screen, which kind of just ruins the experience. The best thing about this is that the phone does not lag when you're trying to show it to somebody, like now. Anyways, this is not only my opinion. Karthik in our office uses the S8 and he loves that phone. But he agrees that the lag can get annoying at times. Well, let me give you another example. Varun, another one of our colleagues, recently switched from the OnePlus 5T to the Note 8, and his first opinion was that the Note 8 feels a lot slower. And these are the Samsung flagships we are talking about. Think about the budget Samsung smartphones that come with modest chipsets and the same heavy Samsung Experience UI. You see, hating the Samsung Experience UI is like gravity. All it takes is a little push. And this laggy experience is the push. There was a time when Samsung phones used to come with a truckload of features and apps. The ROM was then called TouchWiz, and with the name change to Experience UI, a lot of apps and unnecessary features were killed off. But there are still a number of unnecessary features and apps that might be the reason why the UI really bogs down the device. First of all, Samsung has features and apps that most of us don't use, like the Samsung Galaxy App Store, Samsung Connect, Samsung Health, Samsung Gear, Samsung Cloud, etc. I mean, these apps and features might be handy for some, but why pre-install them on the device? Let's take an example here. The On7 Prime, which is a budget Samsung smartphone, comes with Samsung Connect, Samsung Health, Samsung Members, Opera Max, USB backup, and various Microsoft apps. Now, these apps might be handy for some people, but what if it's not? Well, there's no option to uninstall it. You can only disable it. Things are slightly better on higher-end phones like the Note 8, but this especially bogs down a lower-end phone like the On7 Prime. Plus, in the Experience UI, there's an app for almost every other app that comes with Google's version of Android. There's a phone app, a messages app, a clock app, a calculator app. You get my point. I mean, these apps are decent. In fact, some are great, but they're fairly unnecessary. Think about this. The Gmail app is a way better email client than the Samsung email app. And like the Samsung app, it too supports multiple email services. So why would anyone use the Samsung email app when Gmail is also installed on the phone? There are a lot more examples like this. I can understand that Samsung makes its own apps to make sure that it does not have to rely on Google completely. But how about making apps that are more optimized or more resource friendly? I mean, most of these apps are already available on the Play Store, so why pre-install them? I mean, come on Samsung, we know you can do better than this, because some of the apps and features are actually good in the Experience UI. The S8 was one of the first phones last year to come with facial recognition, which is now a trending feature thanks to the iPhone X. But the S8's face recognition is very inconsistent, to say the least. And not just the S8. It's slow and inconsistent even on the Note 8 and the recently launched 8 Plus. If you're thinking how is this a part of the experience UI, well, it is because it's a software feature. Compare that to OnePlus's face unlock feature, which again is a software feature, but that is really fast. I mean, look at this. See how slow the Samsung face unlock is? The inconsistent face recognition is especially a pain because of the annoying placement of the fingerprint scanner on both the S8 and the Note 8. Plus, it's been almost a year since the S8 launched, but there hasn't been any improvements. We have the Oreo beta build on the S8 and it's still the same. Well, Samsung should be fixing things on the S9 with the new intelligent scan feature that is supposed to use both the iris and the camera for better face detection. But what about the older flagships? I'm not even sure if Samsung will even bother to bring the updated facial recognition software to older devices, which kind of brings me to the next point. You knew you were getting to this. Android updates on Samsung devices. Well, that's another sad story when it comes to Samsung. With Samsung devices, you either don't get the latest Android update or you get the update long after Google has released it. Currently, Android Oreo has been released for around 5 months now, and not even the Note 8 or the S8 has received it. Sure, the company has released Oreo beta builds for the devices, but there's no stable update yet. And again, these are flagship phones we're talking about. The low-end and mid-range phones most probably won't even get the update. So yes, this is another problem that I have with Samsung's Experience UI. I mean, all those apps, customizations and features surely need to be updated to work with the latest version of Android. And maybe that's what gets them late. Anyways, whatever be the reason, I keep wishing for faster updates on Samsung phones. At least on flagships, but it hasn't happened yet and I'm not sure if it'll ever happen. Well, those were the major points behind my hatred for the Samsung Experience UI. I mean, the hatred really comes from the inconsistent performance that the Experience UI offers, which I'm really hoping Samsung fixes with the S9. Because if it does, the S9 will be the best phone because the hardware should be amazing, as it is with every Samsung flagship in the past few years. Well, what do you think? Do you dislike the Samsung Experience UI? Let us know in the comment section below. Also, give this video a thumbs up if you agree with us, and share it with your friends who share our hatred for the Samsung Experience UI. Well, that's me signing off. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.